Good morning. Good morning. We've had some difficulties on our internet problem this morning, but I believe we've gotten it straightened out. This is Rich Wallace, and you have joined an episode of Strictly Business. We're on Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning. I want to come right now and tell you that we're not going to be on tomorrow morning on Thursday, but we will be back on Friday. We've got some other scheduling issues that we are going to have to take care of. And as you can see, we had some internet issues this morning, but I believe we've got those fixed. We have a wonderful guest coming on this morning in about a couple minutes here, Miss Alicia Clark. She's going to talk about business and how to get started and some of the things that you need to do if you're trying to get funded. If you have a process or some things going on, we're going to be doing some things like that. So sit back, relax, take a deep breath, pour a cup of coffee. You got a minute. You got about a minute. This is Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and you have joined a full episode of Strictly Business. And I appreciate you being a part of us on this wonderful morning. So let's take a second here, and we'll get right back to it. Here we are, and welcome to an episode of Strictly Business on Edge TV. If you have not joined us before, we're on a few platforms, so please check us out. We're on at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday mornings. We're on YouTube. We're also on LinkedIn, and we're also on a bunch of Facebook platforms. So my name is Rich Wallace, and I have a guest for you this morning that you're just going to love. Miss Alicia Clark, how about you say hello to our audience and tell them exactly where you're from, ma'am? How are you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I am well. Yes. Miss Alicia Clark, you are in the business of helping businesses, I understand. So as we move forward this morning, we're going to just jump right into it. Normally, I spend about 10 minutes talking about myself and how great I am. But we're going to skip that and we're going to roll that over to another time. But I wanted to introduce you to our audience, tell you a little bit about our show. This is Strictly Business. I am a part of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce from the desert to the sea. We've got close to 1,800 small businesses that are associated with us. And what we try to do here is we find people like yourself. Miss Clark is a part of the chamber, has been for a few years, and she has started a networking platform on helping small business. So tell us a little bit about you and your business as we move forward this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Hope all is well to everyone. Thank you all for joining. My name is Alicia D. Clark, and I'm originally from a small town in East Central Illinois, 2 hours south of Chicago. And I've been out here on the West Coast since January of 2013. And I am in the business of helping individuals with their business. It can be, we help individuals with access to capital across the United States, whether it be personal financing and business financing. However, our niche the past couple of years where we really help business owners out is the business credit side. And many individuals, they don't realize the power and the value business credit would provide their business. Many business owners are not set up correctly, so business credit helps their business to be set up correctly in alignment with becoming lendable, fundable. Many business owners seek to obtain financing and they don't realize that they're not fundable in lenders' eyes because lenders have a secret set of underwriting guidelines where they can look at an application or when they go to vet a business owner, they're going to deny them. So we can. Uh,
One of the questions that I have for you is that I hear a lot of commercials, a lot of advertising. People say, "Oh, you can get a federal tax ID number, and it doesn't associate with your social security number, and you can get $100,000 line of credit, and all you got to do is this, this." I mean, the campaign of them saying that you can do a lot of different things and it doesn't affect. So sign up here and we can get you a line of credit with a new ID and a new taxes. Is any of that, I have never tried it myself, but is any of that, from your opinion, is that real, or people actually going and get a business line of credit without putting their social and all of these different campaigns that you have? Have you heard of this? Have you experienced it, or is it true from your experience?
Well, from my experience, many business owners don't realize, even though they are new to business and they're starting a business, that there are creative ways to obtain financing. See, the overall synopsis, many business owners just think about going to a bank. And once that bank denies them, then what do I do? Where do I go? Or they're not even telling me why I got denied. So there are creative ways to obtain finance. It could be something as simple as, if an individual doesn't have perfect personal credit, or they don't even have their business credit, they could use a credit partner where they put someone on their business and give them a title as managing partner, managing member, and they do have that strong FICO score, and they don't even have to have that income coming in through their business. They don't have that 700 and above credit score themselves. No revenue coming in through the business, but that personal credit of their credit partner is strong enough to obtain necessary financing to for the business and the business owner to start their business. Or say, like, when an individual does build their business credit, or they do have uh, personal credit, uh, personal credit score of, let's give an example of 700 and above. Many individuals can go for financing based strictly upon their credit profile. It's called no doc financing, where you don't need to show any bank statements. You don't need to show any revenue, based strictly off your credit profile. Now, it depends on the strength of your credit profile. How many credit cards do you have on there? Do you have a home mortgage loan? Do you have a car loan on there? And you can get up to $150,000 that way. Now you can get up to $400,000 if you also have that in alignment with $50,000 taxable income for the past 2 years. So there's many ways an individual can obtain the financing. Or say, like, if they've built their business credit, towards the end of the business credit journey, a person can obtain equipment financing, business financing. Um, they can get vehicles up under their DUNS number. They can get, of course, the American Express cash cards, gas cards. So a person just needs that information and the resources, and also, of course, to be guided down that journey to set themselves up for success.
Now, does it matter the type of business that I'm in? If I have a brick and mortar, or if I'm selling clothes out of the trunk of the car, there are so many of, I guess they're small vendors, we could call them, but and they go to expos and shows and they set up their clothing line or whatever it is. So is if I'm looking to get a couple of $100,000, does it matter the type of business that I'm in, or is it just based on the paperwork or credit score, personal or business?
No, it does not make a difference. The type of business, you can be an online business, you can be, even nonprofits can set up their business credit.
Really? Because a lot of times people don't, because of a nonprofit not having a individual person. There's a board of directors and this and that kind of thing dealing with nonprofits. So is there a situation where, um, and I guess because somebody's got to take physical responsibility for the money. Is that right
Mhm.
or not?
Yes,
Okay, if
yes.
somebody takes physical responsibility, that person or company has to have a decent line of credit? Or is there a possibility that, because I hear a lot of credit repair people, I've not experienced that myself, but I'm always hearing, and we have so many members, and then there's a lot of members that I was in Temecula last night, and there was a gentleman that works for the repairs people's credit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not sure how they do that, but is those type of credit repair situations, do they work? Because they could get expensive. Pay me $1,000 and I'll help you fix your credit. Pay me 1,500, or these kinds of things. How or for a person that's trying to not get taken advantage of, because we're in a take advantage
Mm-hmm.
environment today. You
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't know which emails to answer. Work from home and make $10,000, and click here, and I'm like, okay, it sounds pretty good, but sometimes it's too good to be true. I've had because I'm a positive kind of person, and I had a conversation with a person the other day. Oh, that's too good to be true, and I'm like, well, maybe not. But then
Mm-hmm.
there's so much fraud and situations going on with people trying to get identities and stuff. Do you run into that, or how do I know that the credit repair person, or the sign here and create a tax ID number and get $10,000? Is there a flag or something that I could identify to know to go with this person? Even people that join the Black Chamber of Commerce, it's a difficult process sometimes to weed out the ones that are not necessarily telling the truth, or think they're telling the truth, and then they get into it, they find out, oh, I really can't fix your credit, it's just way too bad. Is there a flag that you would be able to help people identify which way to go or how to make that work?
First and foremost, let's go back to the beginning. The credit repair that does work. However, many individuals don't realize where I get. I'll just give an example for myself. Many come to me, and in the business world and business credit world and personal credit repair, they think it's a overnight process. We live in a microwave society where many individuals, they don't want to build the foundation. They want something within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And I tell them that you didn't damage your credit within 30 days.
Yeah.
So it's going to take more than 30 days to build and repair it. And the personal credit repair process is like a twofold process. Even though you're going to be repairing those negative items and also working on disputing and removing, you still need to add on to that. Lenders want to see that positive payment history over time. So I do have to let a lot of individuals know, look, if you're seeking to obtain something within 60 to 90 days, that's not over here, because I'm of course in handshakes with these lenders. So I know what they're actually looking for. And I can remember many years ago when I first got in the finance industry, and I had started to bring in clients for funding, and they had just gotten their credit repaired, and the lender would be like, Alicia, where's their payment history? This person, we can tell by their credit report. They went through a credit repair company, and then also what a lot of business owners don't realize, they go to a lot of people with credit sweeps, and they just want to sweep everything off. And truthfully, I have to let individuals know that that's really illegal. You don't want to do credit sweeps with your credit repair. Just take the time, take the foundation, and really build upon that. And that's the same with business credit. You can't just expect to have your DUNS number reporting to your paydex score within 30 days, and then, oh, I'm going to go on and get a vehicle up under my DUNS number in 30 days, or obtain financing up under my business by building the business credit within 30 days. Everything, it does take time. And I do also get a lot of individuals who come to me, and uh, another company stated that they were going to repair their credit and they didn't, and or they were going to work on their business credit, and they paid them $3,000 and they only got them to tier one. I get that a lot. And
Mhm.
I tell them I apologize for that. However, some red flags to really look at a business, check them out. See it, almost become like a lender yourself. See if they're credible. Say, like, I'll give an example with me. I'm an open book. I share so much free information on all social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, which will actually show my credibility, or actually ask them to show some of the work that they've actually done, or can you really explain the business credit process? Can you take me from what are we going to do? Like me, when I work with me and my advisory team, when we work with business owners, before they even come to the table, when they sign their agreements and they're going to pay the invoice, there's a business credit consulting agreement that spells out what they're going to be done, what's going to be done. And even after the year, when they're done working with us, if they haven't even achieved at least $50,000 in vendor credit, trade credit from various sources, we'll take them on for an entirely another 12 months. So something like that, especially with the business credit process, is what we provide with our clients to show them that we're here for them, and that we'd really like to help them out to achieve their goals, from to help them take them from A all the way to Z. But there are a lot of business owners that are scammers out here. They are, and I apologize, especially being a black and brown business. It does, make a lot of us look bad, but there are a lot of us out here that are very serious to help an individual go to that next level.
Okay, Miss Clark, let me ask you, walk me through it. I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. You mentioned Don's number. I don't know what that is. Uh, I've talked to people about tax ID numbers. Why do I need that? I've talked to people about a DBA. Now I've given you Don's number, DBA, tax ID. I'm already confused. So
Mhm.
walk me through. I just opened up my door. I got this great idea. I'm a baker. I want to bake some cakes. I know how to bake cakes. I'm the
Mhm.
best cake baker on the block. But now I got to sell the cakes. So I need a tax ID number. Do I need a resale number? What is a resale number? Where am I at in this whole trying to get started business thing? Is there, I know we do some workshops here and there, but basic one-on-one, help me open up my doors and tell me what I need to do.
Okay, so and I love sharing this information, because sometimes it's a lot of information that business owners don't know, and I just love educating individuals so they can prosper and go to the next level. Say, like, if an individual is just starting out, make sure, of course, you go to irs.gov and you get your EIN number. Many business owners don't realize that that's a free number you can go to get. You don't have to pay any. I mean, if you don't desire to do the work, then that's when you pay. But you don't have to pay anyone to get your EIN number. Make sure your business, of course, is incorporated.
Okay,
Let's
stop.
see.
Time out. Time out. You tell me now. You said make sure my business is incorporated. What does that? Is that a C corp, a S corp? What's the difference? Do I need a LLC? I refer people away from an LLC. Everybody wants to get an LLC because a lot of times a new business starts with a new idea and you're excited about it. If you get into it and you go file for a certain tax bracket and you just get bored, sit it on the shelf, you still have that tax thing to deal with. And what is the just a little bit of the basic difference of what you suggest for independent business? Should I be because there's so many businesses that are still operating with their social security number, which is real crazy. But and they can go open up a bank account. They can do this. So, do I really need a corporation, or which kind of corporation? Because I'm just baking cakes.
Hmm. Well, truthfully, in order on the business credit journey, an LLC is actually one of the perfect ways to build your business credit. Um,
Okay.
you can't build your business credit being a sole proprietor. Um, the of course the business credit that protects that business owner. Say it protects that business owner's personal liability. Most lenders require LLCs, of course, with insufficient collateral to really personally guarantee the LLC's loan. So if you do so, then you become liable for that payment, and that LLC helps protect you. So that's actually something that lenders are looking for when building that business credit. So it depends on what that business owner's goals are. So to go over everything, they need to see what would be in alignment with their goals. Some people they do desire to go on and go down that sole proprietor journey, but this is like my expertise is down the business credit and also like with the lending arena. So back to getting incorporated, it would with basic 101, make sure that that company is incorporated, even if you are just selling cookies, because you're going to need different things down the line. If you want to, a business is a business. If you're going to seek on growing and expanding and scaling, maybe you need a different inventory that your cash flow may be strapped. Level, okay, business credit is a 7-step process with 4 different tiers. And that first tier is what's called a net 30 vendor. And so if that business owner that's baking cookies, they may need cups, may need plates, they may need forks. So they can order those items from that net 30 vendor. Where, are you familiar with net 30 vendors?
No, I'm not. I just bake
Okay.
cakes. So
Okay. Yes, we're going
I
down this journey. First
yeah.
of all, let's rewind and I'll give you an example of how powerful business credit is. Say like Apple and Sam Walton of Walmart, that's how he built his multi-billion-dollar empire, through
Mhm.
building business credit. Why? Because 85% of the items that are on the shelf he got from net 30, net 60, net 90 vendors, which is vendors where you order items that your business need, and you don't have to pay those vendors until 30, 60, 90 days. But those vendors report, this is also part of the business credit process. Those vendors report to the major 3 CRAs, which are the credit reporting agencies. That's Dun& Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. And that's a critical key component of the business credit process. So let's go back to the lady or male baking cookies. When you're ordering from those net 30 vendors, that allows you to have that cash flow for 30 days, and you don't have to pay that vendor back until that 30-day time period is up. So you can keep having more profit and profit, turning and turning and turning within that 30 days, just like Walmart. When they order items from their business credit to stack on the shelves, here come consumers like me, you, or mom, or cousin, go to Walmart 3, 4, 5, 6 times within a 30, 60, 90-day period. So that's pure cash flow until that business owner or Walmart needs to pay back that vendor. But at the same time, paying back that vendor, it's going on your report card. See, your personal credit and your business credit to lenders, vendors, and suppliers, that's your report card on how you pay your bills, when you pay your bills, what time you pay your bills, paying your bills on a consistent payment history. That's your report card. So, and I'll give you also an example. I spoke to a business owner in Indianapolis, and he has a food truck this weekend. And he stated that, even though he earns like 300,000 to 350,000 a year, he pays cash for everything. But I'm like, where's your report card? How are you getting credited for everything that you're spending? So everything an individual is spending, they should get. credit for. And I'll also give you certain examples throughout this entire process. Say, like with me, I helped take care of my parents back in Illinois. So instead of me giving them money to go to Walmart or a corner store or a thrift store to purchase toilet tissue, laundry detergent, disinfectant, gloves, and masks, I can get those every month from my Net 30 vendor. They ship them to my parents, and I'm getting credit from my three CRAs, which is Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, which is reporting on my business credit each month. So then now let's go back to the lady or the man baking the cookies. To go down this journey to set yourself up like basic 101 for success, where people can start to go get items now. I'll go to level one in building your business credit. Building your business credit is a 7-step process with 4 different tiers. Level one is called business credibility, where lenders, vendors, and suppliers want to make sure that you're a credible business. And that goes back to making sure that company is incorporated. Um, it can be something as simple as their email. I speak to so many business owners that's been in business 5, 10 years, and they're on Gmail, they're on Yahoo, they're on iCloud. That's a no-no. You need that branded email because lenders are looking at you as a non-credible business. So you need an email to match your company. And an example would be like my company is Alicia Clark Funding LLC. My email to match is Alicia at AliciaClarkFunding.com. Another level where a business owner would need to take care of business, they're using their cell phone. That's a no-no. You shouldn't use your cell phone for your business. Even though I'll give an example. I have a cell phone number through T-Mobile. That's a business line, but that's still not my business line that I use for my business. I have a toll-free line, which that toll-free line is I have it routed to my cell phone, so I can be anywhere in the world. I can be in London, I can be in New York, I can be in Miami. And when customers or leads are calling, they're calling directly to my cell phone, because many individuals, they'll be like, well, Alicia, do I have to get another phone? No, you don't have to get another phone. You just need to know how to do this down this journey. Then also that toll free line needs to be registered on 411. So which is a business directory, so lenders and vendors can find them. Then also a business bank account. I deal with so many business owners that have the significant income to get funded through their business, but they're routing their money through their personal bank account. And you can't get a business loan that way because it's not set up correctly. Then also with build regarding building your business credit, you need that business bank account. And then also now what lenders are also doing, they're even though a business owner may be in business for the past 5 years, lenders are considering that business bank account start date as the business's inception date. So
Mhm.
I tell individuals who do not have a business bank account, hurry up and go on and get that business bank account set up for your company. Then also congruency across the board. With sometimes when we start businesses, we may have started off with a PO box or a UPS or a home address. That's also a no-no. You're not supposed to use those addresses. This is also a critical key component with building your business credit. And I understand brick and mortars may be expensive right now, so you can get something what's called a virtual office address, where when lenders go to look you up with your address, it's a deliverable commercial building that's a tied to your address. And you don't have to actually spend more money on the private office. You can get the virtual office address, where you can also, depending on the company a person would use, you can go anywhere in the world and meet clients at your office. So say like me, I travel state to state a lot, and I'll tell the client in that state, hey, meet me at my office. And they're like, meet you at your office in my city? How do you do this? And so that also helps a person with their business credibility with the client as well. Oh, the congruency. Let's go back to the congruency. After you've gotten your business address, that business bank account, making sure those addresses are the same across the board, because I stated many individuals, they may start with their PO box or UPS or their home address. You need that congruency across the board, and that's from irs.gov, the Secretary of State, and your business bank account. That address needs to be the same across the board. If suite is spelled STE, it needs to be STE across the board. If it's spelled SUITE, it needs to be spelled SUITE across the board. Um, a website, a simple little website that shows your services. It'll have your toll free number, your email number on there, and a way clients can contact you, or go on and fill out an application. Just a simple little website. A person can spend a couple of $100s. They can go to Fiverr. Fiverr has so many freelancers across the United States where they have inexpensive prices for an individual to create a website for you. So like those are
Well,
like some simple. Oh, the email address. I stated don't use Yahoo or iCloud. You can go to GoDaddy.com and get a branded email to match your company.
now I'm a big violator of the email address. I have a business email address, but it's so easy for me to use. Now I have them all routed to my personal email, and that all works out. But when I send out emails, I don't necessarily, at one point, I was really good at it because I had people helping me. Uh, I would send from the chamber or from one of my businesses. It would have that business dot, com, what it is. But it's so easy for me to use my personal email, and it's a free one of the. And they still laugh at me because I'm on AOL. Everybody still clowns me. I can't. Oh, you still using AOL? Yeah. Well, I was paying for it at one time, but so I'm a big violator of that. I do have a toll free number that people could reach me out of, but it's just so easy for me to say, well, call me direct on my cell phone. Even though if they dial the 800 number, it comes to that extension. But it's just so comfortable for, and I'm a big violator of that. I'm a violator of my Don and Bradstreet number. I never use it. I've had one for like 30 years, but I just really have never ever used it. So people get comfortable with comfortability in what they're doing. So the things that you're telling me is having those routed to certain things. By the way, Tracy Lewis from LinkedIn wants to know how to get in touch with you. So we'll put your phone number in the box here so people could reach you. Philip Scott is saying yes. He has done some online credit in sales where you could actually borrow money on your future sales and get your credit score there. So he has that. And Nancy Aldrich Foster, well, she's not a Foster anymore, Felder, that used to be the president out of our Hollywood chapter, says that she just got a SBA $500,000 loan for one of her people, and building off the Don and Bradstreet. Now I know dealing with SBA is a great process, but it's a difficult process. You gotta have some skin in the game to get money from SBA in most cases. So have you dealt with SBA in dealing with that? So, and I want to get back to my original question statement that it's very necessary for people to do the process of what you're telling them to do, and making them look or be more credible, because they may be as credible as all outdoors. But if their suite is not spelt the same way, or they're using the PO box. It's so comfortable for me to use my PO box, and I get re-asked all the time, well, where's your physical street address? So now we put the physical street address and the mailing address. We call it the mailing address. So that it's always the same physical street address, mailing address, because a lot of people don't get a bunch of mail at their office. We started doing those kinds of things to make it a little bit, I guess, to look more credible to the lenders, even if you're not trying to borrow money, it's necessary to look credible just to do business. Because once again, as we started off our conversation, is that there's so much fraudulent type stuff going on. You don't want to look like a flake. So even if you're not trying to borrow money, it's necessary to get these things in place. So one day, if you do need to go pick up, as Nancy said, $500,000, you've shown a long-term situation where everything is in place. I think you've kind of frozen up on me here. I've had some internet issues this morning.
Can you hear me?
I just wanted to kind of mention that. So yes, go ahead.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Oh, let's go back to what you said. You're doing things because you're comfortable. Think about individuals in the 1 to 3% of the globe. They don't do things that are comfortable. When you do things that are comfortable, you're going to be complacent. So how are you going to stand out? Then that also goes back to what I said earlier. We're in a microwave society. People just want things quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they don't want to put in the work. Think about when a person's health and wellness. I'm a big advocate for health and wellness. Of course, I used to be 204 pounds. Everyone knows how to lose weight. Eat less than what you put in your body, work out. But who actually does those things that are uncomfortable? Then that's why you see there's a separation. Individuals that are at peak performance, individuals that are mediocre performance, and individuals that are lackluster. They're sedentary. And that transfers over to the business world as well. An individual that has that peak performance, you do things that you don't desire to do. That also develops discipline. And discipline are those small daily habits which are going to set you apart from other individuals. Then, okay, a person can just be mediocre. Then a person will be lackluster. You're going to get lackluster income. You're going to get lackluster clients, because see, that is also critical, not to do what is comfortable, because we're energy, we're spirits. So we're going to attract who we are. So you're going to also attract other people and be in different places and things where you're just comfortable. But if you're doing things, those small daily habits in your personal life, in your business, that will get you to that peak performance, being uncomfortable on a daily basis, then you're going to attract higher quality people, higher quality projects, higher quality clients. So it just depends on a business owner's goals. Some individuals have small goals. Some individuals have mediocre goals. Some individuals have large goals. So it depends on that person's goals. But I would suggest, you being you and me knowing who you are, do not do what's comfortable, because in my eyes, you're our leader. So if our leader is doing things what is comfortable for him, what are you also telling us as well? So you as a leader, keep doing those small daily habits, and start today. Attach that 1-800 number to your business cards, and put that out there. Start utilizing your branded email to match your company. And even if you like most phones, you can attach your branded email to your phone. So even though Yahoo and iCloud and all of those are easy, but it's may not be as profitable for you. It may not be putting you out there as credible. So you want to do what's going to set you apart. And that goes for anybody else.
Yeah,
Do
I
those
used myself.
things.
Yeah, and I use myself as an example. As an example, so I tell people just what you just finished saying. You have to learn how to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. So you're always, if you're going to grow your business, it's always going to be uncomfortable. You always got to get up an hour early. You always got to check and find out what's going on when you're doing. You have to, if you're going to be in business, the first thing you must learn, and I tell people, is to multitask. You must be able to think, act, and do at the same time. So a lot of times people are focused on one thing, and we're going to have on Friday, we're going to have a cryptocurrency lady that's coming on to talk about cryptocurrency and finance. Miss Sandra Williams will be joining us on Friday. But the things that you are telling small businesses to do, and me, that we need to be uncomfortable. We need to learn how to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. We need to be able to get all of our ducks in a row. So if you're out there and you're operating, I want you to put your number in. If you're out there and you're operating as a small business, and you are not necessarily using a tax ID number, you don't use your Dun and Bradstreet, or you don't have a Dun and Bradstreet. So I wanted to address the Dun and Bradstreet real quick because a lot of people don't even know what that is, or have one, or where do I get one? Okay, I know I got to do a DBA. I go down to the newspaper and I file my doing business as so I can identify myself. I take that paperwork over to the bank. I open up a bank account. The process of starting a business is kind of taken for granted. And we here at the chamber don't take for granted that you know anything. So we start, sometimes it's a little embarrassing. Well, I already know that, and I already do that. And all right, okay, fine. So, but there are people that just have not, and if you don't know, you don't know. Doesn't make you ignorant, doesn't make you not a good person. It's just that you've never been told that you actually need a Dun and Bradstreet, or even what it is. Are you registered with your local BBA, small business, whatever it is? Have you talked to the SBA? So these little bitty tidbits that you're tossing out, and I'm pulling them back out because I want people to understand the basics. Sometimes people use acronyms and they just automatically assume that folks know what they are. So I want you to, if you put your number in, so that people can reach you. There's quite a few people on LinkedIn that are asking questions, and that are wanting to reach out to. So the information that you're displaying, I can tell just by the that are needed. There's some amens and stuff going on over here. So as we get ready to kind of wrap this up, I want you to kind of go back over it one more time. What is a Dun and Bradstreet? Why do I need it? Do I really need to have? There's so many people, like you're saying, that believe that their social security number is all I need. They let me open up a bank account. So I'm not a real legitimate business. Doesn't make me an illegal or a fraud person. I'm doing the right thing to the right people. I'm really making it happen, but I'm not ready as a business person. So then one of the problems we had a bank up in the high desert that gave us about $80,000, and they asked us to distribute it to small businesses. But they had to have a tax ID number. They had to have certain things in place. They had to have, and amazingly so, we went through probably 50 businesses before we found 10 that had all of the simple get started stuff. So we've been back. So we go back to the drawing board and we have a get starting kit. This is what you need. So when we're displaying that get started kit to some businesses, and it's elementary. If you got a college degree and I'm talking to you about elementary stuff, it's kind of okay. You're not at my level, but there are people that are at your level, and I appreciate you so much in bringing it back down, because you realize when you got started, there were some things that you didn't have or you didn't know, and no one told you. You had to boom, hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall. So I appreciate you stepping back into the arena saying, hey, This is what you got to have. This is what you need. And I say to all of my businesses that are a part of this, and there's a bunch of people here on LinkedIn that are making comments, come in and let's boost up the others to get them going.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to tell us a little bit about Alicia D. Clark's business and how you reach out. You told us kind of things in place. Now, how if I come to you, and what are you going to do to help me? And is there a cost involved? And if there is, let's kind of say, well, if it's a roundabout, yeah, or if it's individually based upon what you already got or what how does Alicia D. Clark eat too?
Well, we at Alicia Clark Funding, LLC, we help individuals with access to capital across the United States, whether it be personal financing, business financing, but like I stated, that niche where many business owners are not qualifying for financing is building that business credit. Where we really help that business owner is that business credit, because even though some individuals do qualify for financing, uh, we have lenders and funding sources where an individual can have a FICO score as low as 550, and as long as they have 5 to 10,000 coming in per month through their business, they can get that financing. However, I do let individuals know up front, since you really don't have skin in the game and you don't have that FICO score to back it up, those interest rates will be a little high. However, you have to go on and build that foundation. And many lenders, what they do in that area is, when a business owner, even though the interest rates may be high and the terms are shorter, once that money is paid down 50%, that business owner, and they've been paying on time, that business owner can qualify for better rates and terms. But I also tell individuals at the same time, do work on that personal credit, do work on that business credit, because say, like I talked about in the beginning, um, business credit is strictly tied, of course, to your EIN. That consumer credit is tied to your social security number. So they're two different journeys. And one can build their business credit with challenge personal credit. But from a lender's perspective, it'll give you double that borrowing power with working on your personal credit in alignment with your business credit. So we help business owners in many ways to guide them down that path.
Okay. All right. So if I now know a little more than I started with this morning at 7. Uh, Mr. Earl lets us know that applying knowledge is power, and knowledge is power,
Apply it.
but engagement is powerful.
Yeah,
So to
it
know,
that's
but
true.
to do is different.
That's true.
So
Mhm.
we as we engage our small businesses and to make them more powerful, to get them to do what they know, to get me to do it, to get me to stop using my AOL email and say, hey, let me use rich at blackchamberofcommerce.org or rich at youth bill educational program or some of the other small businesses. We just have this network is called Strictly Business is our TV, but our network called Edge TV Network, and we're on Edge TV Network. So we need people to start watching our show and to grow, because we're in a growing pattern and we're always trying to grow. No one is perfect. No one comes out of the box perfect. So I tell small business, sometimes trying to get so perfect it's overrated. Let's get it going, move it, and then we can change it next week. We can work on it, make it better the following week. Some people here now have met Miss Alicia D. Clark. Now they can improve on what they're doing next month. because now they know that I've been operating with my Social Security. No one has said anything. It's been working for me. It's just fine. But you can't go to the next level unless you get that tax ID number. Simple thing. You can't go to the next level until your Dun & Bradstreet is in. How do I get my Dun & Bradstreet? Who do I call? Do I dial 411? And you mentioned something that was really important. People don't know that 411 still exists.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to get that back into aspect. So when people dial 411 or they ask the Google or whoever, can I get to the Black Chamber of Commerce or the Chamber of Commerce? We're one of the few that still have 800 numbers listed with 411. So that's important. And I tell folks that, relisted because it still exists. I know you don't get the big book anymore, but it still exists. Miss Clark, so if you've got some final words you'd like to toss out right now, we've got about a couple of minutes left, so I would appreciate you just kind of letting the people know, give them out your number, tell them how to reach you, and that type of thing.
I would like to leave you all
I think
with
your
this.
screen is frozen.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I would like to leave you all with
Yes,
this.
I can.
You all have done the first step to desire to become an entrepreneur or a business owner. So that lets an individual, especially like me, know there's a certain mindset attached. There's a desire there, but you have to have more than the desire. You have to have that proper blueprint, that proper plan to actually know your target, know what you're getting up on a day-to-day basis and work on. Have what's called a DMO, which is a daily method of operations. And I tell so many business owners, think of your life and your business as an NBA game or an NFL championship. There's 4 quarters. It's January, February, March, first quarter. Then you got January, February, March, April, May, June. Then you got halftime to reflect. What did I accomplish in my business, in my life? What did I not accomplish? I still have the third and fourth quarter to do that. Then you got the third quarter. Then you got that fourth quarter to really close things out on your goals. Take your goals in 90-day increments and really backwards plan. Where would you like to be this time next year? Then break it down, that January, February, March, April, May, June, but then go on smaller increments. Do 30-day increments, then do weekly increments. Let me tell you, a person with goals can run around circles with a person with an Ivy League degree. I see it so many times when you have goals and you eliminate those distractions and you're totally laser focused. There's nothing that you can't accomplish, especially being a Black and brown business owner. There's nothing. It's the way you feel about yourself. And that's what's going to allow you either to settle or to not to settle. So being in business, think big. Don't limit yourself. We're in the same playing field as Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, Sam Walton of Walmart. We are in the same playing field as those, and it's time out for us to stop being lackadaisical and not living life to the fullest on this earth, especially being a business owner and entrepreneur. So I would like to leave you all with that. That's something to ponder on today.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. My name is Rich Wallace, and you have just had an episode of Strictly Business on the EdgeTVNetwork.net. So please, we're not here tomorrow morning, which we're normally on the schedule, but we will be here on Friday talking about cryptocurrency, how to get in, how to get out, what to do, how to dip it. And then next week, we're going to have a few more guests coming on. So once again, this is Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and thank you so much for being a part of our show today.